I would love to see Tebow go in the first round to the Minnesota Vikings, have him work a year or two with Brett Favre, and have their backfield be Tebow, Peterson, and Percy Harvin for years to come.
I mean, I think that would be an ideal scenario. And if the Vikings are smart, they'll draft Tebow and groom him to be Brett Favre's replacement. One other thing about Brett Favre, too, talk about Tebow's mechanics, who's the quarterback in the NFL that probably has the worst mechanics in the entire league? Brett Favre. Brett Favre's got about some of the worst mechanics in the league. It certainly hasn't hurt him too much over the past 20 years or so. And speaking of guys that weren't drafted very highly and guys that were torn apart by the draft nicks, Dan Marino. Dan Marino was just torn apart, like a pack of sharks. In fact, he fell to the bottom of the first round. Every team in the league passed on Dan Marino. Guys like O'Brien and were taken above Dan Marino in the NFL draft. Emmitt Smith was another guy who was trashed by the draftniks. Tom Brady, 6th-round draft choice. So now we're getting into where we see these so-called experts aren't such experts. But now we get into to the non-football related question, and that's what I'm asking. Okay, if these guys have a record of being wrong about 90+% of the time, specifically Kuiper, why does he remain on television? And why a week or 2 or 3 or 4 before the draft he's all you see on television? Now why is that? Now, like I said, I mean, up to this point, I've always thought it was ironic humor. I mean, I thought the joke was on him. I thought he was there for comic relief. But apparently they've added this, Todd McShay clown to join him. And, so it raises further questions, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, that's going to do it. We're down in about our last couple of minutes. If you know what round Joe Montana was picked, I'll go ahead and tell you. 3rd round. Joe Montana was picked in the 3rd round of the NFL draft, and it seemed to work out pretty well for him and for the 49ers. And it's going to work out well for Tim Tebow, too. I think he's going to go in the first round. I give the NFL a little bit more credit. I don't give the NFL so-called experts a lot of credit. I think there's at least 1 or 2 teams that will appreciate Tim Tebow. I think he'll go in the first round, regardless of whether he goes in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whether he signs as a free agent. The call from talking old school is Tim Tebow will be a great pro. He'll win games. He'll lift a team. And I fully expect Tim Tebow 20, 25 years from now, we'll be seeing Tim Tebow inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame. That's the word from talking old school. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks for all the guys that called. Thank you to our sponsors, Apopka Chief and Planner, Mosquito Creek Outdoors. And thanks to Matt, our producer. Guys, that's going to do it. We'll be next.